crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Crawlers February 24. Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Crawlers February 24, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs February 14th to February 20th, 2025. APT, Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. AJ Key Rat, Madhubanti Bagchi, Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, February 14th to Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Luther, with SZA, Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. APT Rose, Bruno Mars. Nintendo US Digital Best Sellers, from February 24, 2025. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Minecraft. Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 to Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Monster Hunter Wilds. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2. Apex Legends. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA and partners release advisory on Ghost, Kring, ransomware. One more drop in the AI ocean. Perplexity AI's R1-1776. R1-1776 is a DeepSeek R1 reasoning model that has been post-trained by Perplexity AI to remove Chinese Communist Party censorship. The model provides unbiased, accurate, and factual information while maintaining high reasoning capabilities. AI tool revolutionizes infection diagnosis by analyzing immune cell gene sequences. When AI thinks it will lose, it sometimes cheats, study finds. Reportedly, angry workers use AI to bombard businesses with employment lawsuits. NBA introduces physical AI robots at 2025 All-Star Tech Summit. Robot umpires are getting their first MLB test during spring training. King Kohli becomes fastest batter to reach 14,000 runs in ODI cricket. FT reports that China taps tech talent to boost AI data center boom, and Alibaba plans to spend $53 billion on AI in a major pivot. Bert Hubert comments as, "It is no longer safe to move our governments and societies to U.S. clouds." Siemens Energy, Schneider Electric fall on report Microsoft cancels lease for AI data centers. Reportedly, Grok blocked results saying Musk and Trump spread misinformation. Fact-checkers are among the top sources for X's community notes, study reveals. X rolls out AI-generated ads in push to win advertisers back. Google's new AI video model VO2 will cost 50 cents per second. Pollution from big tech's data center boom costs U.S. public health $5.4 billion. China unveils underwater computing center that matches 30,000 gaming computers' power, as China's subsea data center could power 7,000 DeepSeek conversations a second, as per a report. Amazon shuts down Chime, its Zoom alternative. Shine profits slump in fresh challenge to long-planned London IPO. Bloomberg comments as Apple abandons budget smartphone market with the iPhone 16e. Divorce can be predicted by interactions between cultural and personal values, study finds. Study links barriers to divorce and reproductive health care to higher pregnancy-associated homicide rates. Air pollution reduces people's ability to focus on everyday tasks, study finds. A new evolutionary scenario marked by massive gene loss and expansion. World's first two-way adaptive brain-computer interface has been announced as a memristor-based adaptive neuromorphic decoder for brain-computer interfaces. Visible light, triggered depolymerization of commercial polymethacrylates has been announced in Science magazine. In Germany, CDU leader Merz considers extension of French, British nuclear umbrella to Germany. Swiss army open to peacekeeping role on the Ukrainian-Russian border. Zelensky says he's willing to give up presidency for peace in Ukraine or NATO membership. Unexpected shape of Lead-208 nucleus prompts re-evaluation of atomic nuclei models. Self-imaging of structured light in cylindrical systems unveils a new form of space-time duality. Scientists map elusive liquid-liquid transition point using deep neural network. Study reveals Arabia's rainfall was 5 times more extreme 400 years ago. Newsom asks Congress for nearly $40 billion for LA wildfire relief. GCF approves $686 million for climate action in 42 countries. Bybit sees over $4 billion bank run after crypto's biggest hack, and Arthur Hayes floats the idea of rolling back Ethereum network to negate $1.4 billion Bybit hack, drawing community ire. Solana faces challenges as TVL hits new low amid Libra fallout and investor uncertainty. SEC closes investigation into OpenSea, declining to pursue charges over NFT marketplace operations. Germany's conservatives set to lead next coalition, far-right AfD surges. Voter turnout jumps to 83% after pivotal German election. Germany's Merz eyes independence from US, airs worries about NATO's future. The Telegraph comments as, Germany faces its worst nightmare, becoming France. Italy's Meloni defends Vance's Munich speech, chastising Europe. The Hill comments as, J.D. Vance's Munich speech makes clear, Europe just doesn't get it. Meloni assures Trump will remain committed to Europe. Bloomberg reports that, Chinese firms dump Europe for Hong Kong to raise funds. Over 9B trips estimated during China's Spring Festival travel rush. Buffett says Berkshire will continue to increase investment in Japan trading houses. Net zero economy grows 10% in a year with £83 billion boost to UK, report says. Israel halts release of Palestinian prisoners over humiliating hostage handovers. Hamas says Israel's claim on hostages handover ceremony is pretext to evade its obligations. Israel sends tanks into West Bank for first time in decades, says fleeing Palestinians can't return. Hamas shuts down Gaza talks until 620 Palestinians freed by Israel. Former Vice President Kamala Harris to be honored by NAACP with its Chairman's Award. Donald Trump recruited by Moscow in 1980s, claims ex-KGB officer, claims a report. Trump announces conservative podcaster Dan Bongino as FBI Deputy Director. In India, production, export of pain relief drugs halted over reports of opioid crisis in West Africa. Telegram fined nearly $1 million by Australian watchdog for delay in reporting about terrorism and child abuse material. In the UK, car signal jammers behind surge in vehicle thefts to be outlawed. Neon Genesis Evangelion extended reality game in the works for 2026. After a decade, the Pokémon Company has finally gotten an apology and $15 million in damages for mobile Pokémon clone. Avatar sequel series Seven Havens ordered at Nickelodeon, set after Legend of Korra. Zelensky refuses to acknowledge that Ukraine owes US $500 billion. North Korea providing 50% of Russia's ammunition, Ukraine says. Russian official visits Indonesia and Malaysia to talk defense, Russian agencies report. Trump talks of a third term amid growing concerns about a constitutional crisis, and Mullen says Trump joked about running a third time. Bangladeshi students, who ousted former PM Hasina, set to launch political party. Cook Islands announces deep-sea minerals deal with China. HP intentionally made customers hold for 15 minutes for telephone customer service, then quickly cancelled it due to backlash. Mozilla Foundation announces shift to privacy-focused advertising and AI services as veteran Mitchell Baker steps down. Aston Martin Aramco unveils AMR 25, its new challenger for the 2025 FIA Formula One World Championship. Greenpeace faces a $300 million lawsuit after Dakota Access Pipeline protests, and Greenpeace says a pipeline company's lawsuit threatens the organization's future. Putin sacrificed Kursk submariners to protect secrets, says Clinton. More than 10,000 First Nations people killed in Australia's frontier wars, final massacre map shows. Trump orders trade chief to revive tariff retaliation against digital taxes. Euphoria's Hunter Schafer says new passport misgenders her as male after Trump's anti-trans executive order. Neo-Nazi group plots rebuild as Trump's FBI chief takes helm, audio reveals. U.S. Bureau of Statistics announces that the fastest-growing industry sector, 2023-33, professional, scientific, and technical services. Dogs seem to have a strong preference for yellow things. Widespread biofluorescence in birds of paradise suggests enhanced signaling for hierarchy and courtship displays. U.S. Space Force reveals first look at secretive X-37B spaceplane in orbit. Blue Ghost moonlander catches GPS signal from 205,000 miles away, sets distance record, as Blue Ghost instrument proves Earth-orbiting GPS-type satellites can be used to track location from the moon. NASA supercomputer reveals strange spiral structure at the edge of our solar system.
Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with NewsSource Scrawlers, the 22nd of February, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs February 7th to February 13th, 2025. APT, Rosé and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Age Ki Rat, Madhu Banti Bagchi, Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, February 7th to Thursday, February 13th, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Luther, with Sa, Kendrick Lamar, SZA. APT, Rosé, Bruno Mars. Nintendo US Digital Bestsellers, from the 18th of February, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Minecraft. Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 to Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2. Counter-Strike 2. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Monster Hunter Wilds. PUBG, Battlegrounds. Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA and FBI warn of malicious cyber actors using buffer overflow vulnerabilities to compromise software. One more drop in the AI ocean. StepFunare's Step Video T2V videos are represented by a high-compression video VAE, achieving 16 by 16 spatial and 8x temporal compression ratios. User prompts are encoded using two bilingual pre-trained text encoders to handle both English and Chinese. A DIT with 3D full attention is trained using flow matching and is employed to denoise input noise into latent frames, with text embeddings and time steps serving as conditioning factors. To further enhance the visual quality of the generated videos, a video-based DPO approach is applied, which effectively reduces artifacts and ensures smoother, more realistic video outputs. Reuters reports that US will not co-sponsor UN motion backing Ukraine, and a news conference between Zelensky and Donald Trump's Ukraine envoy is cancelled at US request. In the UK, Farage says Zelensky is not a dictator and Trump should not be taken literally. The Hill comments as, the US could sell out Ukraine like France and Britain sold out Czechoslovakia. Reuters reports that, Trump deporting people at a slower rate than Biden's last year in office. CBS lawyers say they will seek Donald Trump's personal financial information if President's 60 Minutes lawsuit proceeds to discovery phase. George Clooney says Biden admin was terrible at explaining we're a world economy, and Fox reports as, George Clooney admits media dropped the ball on covering Biden's incapacities. Nearly 1 in 10 US adults identify as LGBTQ, Gallup survey finds. 1 year ago, Gallup announced that LGBTQ+ identification in U.S. now at 7.6%. Sepsis rates increased after abortion ban in Texas, analysis shows. Chinese team finds new bat coronavirus that could infect humans via same route as COVID-19. Amazon to gain creative control of James Bond franchise from Broccoli family, and Jeff Bezos asks social media to help pick the next James Bond aftershock Amazon Studios purchase. Benson Boone's Beautiful Things named 2025's top-selling single in the world. Netflix to invest $1 billion in Mexico over 4 years to produce movies and shows in country. Scented products cause indoor air pollution on par with car exhaust. New York sues vape distributors for fueling teen epidemic, as New York sues vape distributors over Elf Bar and other fruit and candy e-cigarettes. S's new fragrance mouse is a wireless mouse that also smells. Indonesia anti-graft body arrests senior opposition official. In the US, Supreme Court rejects Holocaust survivors' suit against Hungary. Hong Kong's last major pro-democracy party moves to disband. Ivory Coast takes control of last remaining French base as French military departs, and France to keep 80 military personnel in Ivory Coast, defense minister says. Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan sign deal to settle decades-old border dispute. Azerbaijan orders suspension of BBC News Azerbaijani in Baku. CNN comments as, Trump wants to abolish the IRS and replace it with tariffs. Trump-appointed FTC chair launches big tech inquiry for bullying and censorship. Reuters comments as, Trump seeks to reshape Asia's energy supplies with US gas. Blocking mobile internet on smartphones improves sustained attention, mental health, and subjective well-being. Exercise eases internet addiction in Chinese college students. Sweetener aspartame aggravates atherosclerosis through insulin-triggered inflammation. It has been commented as, all German parties are veering to the right, even the Greens. Reportedly, study of TikTok, X for youth feeds in Germany finds far-right political bias ahead of federal elections. Trump holds Black History Month event as some agencies skip recognition after anti-DEI order. France far-right leader Bardella cancels US speech after ex-Trump aide makes a Nazi gesture. Recently, Steve Bannon, former Trump advisor, makes Nazi gesture at CAC. Mexico will not stand US invasion in fight against cartels, president says, and Mexico's president vows to protect national sovereignty after US cartel terrorist designation, as Mexico to reform constitution in wake of US terrorism designations, and following US lead, Canada designates 7 Latin American criminal groups as terrorist entities. Rotterdam port most vulnerable to US energy tariffs, CEO says. President Donald J. Trump issues directive to prevent the unfair exploitation of American innovation, as Trump signs order protecting American companies from overseas extortion. ESPN plans to add user-generated content to upcoming flagship streaming service. Marvel has reportedly shifted priorities and paused development on 3 TV shows, including a Doctor Strange series with Wong. Spotify looks to expand AI-narrated audiobooks on its platform. iPhone 15 Pro to finally get visual intelligence in future software update. Apple wins invalidation of blood monitoring patent after appeal. Apple gambles on new iPhone with AI features at lower cost, with iPhone 16e. US senators propose automatic NATO membership for Ukraine if Russia violates ceasefire. China supports recent consensus between US and Russia on Ukraine war, foreign minister says. Putin, China's Xi to discuss US-Russia talks held in Saudi Arabia, Kremlin. Felix AI announces Helix, a vision-language action model for generalist humanoid control, with full upper-body control and multi-robot collaboration. Clone Robotics unveil Protoclone, a faceless android with lifelike movements that can bleed to death if stabbed. Amazon surpasses Walmart in revenue for the first time. US proposes Ukraine UN text omitting mention of occupied territory, claimed by diplomats. Reuters reports that US could cut Ukraine's access to Starlink internet services over minerals, say sources. Trump says Russia attacked Ukraine in U-turn, predicts deal on minerals soon. Reuters reports that Russia could concede $300 billion in frozen assets as part of Ukraine war settlement, sources say. Coinbase says SEC agrees to toss lawsuit, signaling end of crypto battle. SEC approves first yield-bearing stablecoin YLDS with 3.85% April. NFT marketplace OpenSea says the SEC is ending its investigation. Reportedly, as consumer delinquencies rise, U.S. economic growth increasingly powered by the wealthy. 1 month ago it has been reported as a record number of consumers are making minimum credit cards payments as delinquencies also rise. IRS blocks Muscade from accessing taxpayer data. The Barnes & Noble founder's widow is auctioning off her $250 million art collection. California bill aims to recognize Bigfoot as state's official cryptid, as California takes steps toward officially recognizing Bigfoot. Musk calls former International Space Station commander idiot in exchange over astronauts, and Musk, after spat with astronaut, calls for deorbiting the International Space Station. Libra memecoin fiasco destroyed $251 million in investor wealth, research shows, as Argentina's crypto scandal dings Milli, involves strange mix of characters. Microsoft CEO admits that AI is generating basically no value, and Microsoft boss Satya Nadella dismisses AGI milestones as nonsensical benchmark hacking, indicating AI agents could only run a Fortune 500 company with a sandboxed guarantee. New York Times comments as AI is prompting an evolution, not extinction, for coders. Meta claims torrenting pirated books isn't illegal without proof of seeding. Also, Meta says it made sure not to seed any pirated books. OpenAI removes users in China, North Korea suspected of malicious activities, and OpenAI finds new Chinese influence campaigns using its tools. In Australia, Parliament passes world-leading scams prevention framework. SEC launches new unit focused on protecting investors against fraud in crypto and AI. Japan seeks Tesla investment in Nissan, Foxconn approaches Honda, reports say. Chinese EV maker Speng to double global presence to 60 markets in 2025, CEO says. U.S. government removing EV chargers from all federal buildings because they are not mission-critical. Philippines removed from FATF grey list as Laos, Nepal added to watch list. Ghost ransomware has hit firms in over 70 countries, FBI and CISA warn. Bybit hit by crypto's worst hack with almost $1.5 billion stolen. Brazil Supreme Court Justice orders Rumble suspension nationwide for alleged non-compliance. Apple is removing iCloud end-to-end encryption features from the UK after government compelled it to add backdoors. A huge trove of leaked Blackbuster chat logs expose the ransomware gang's key members and victims. Microsoft's new AI agent can control software and robots. AI startup DeepSeek to open source 5 code repositories next week for full transparency. AI cracks a superbug problem in 2 days that took scientists years. Webb reveals rapid-fire light show from Milky Way central black hole. Heatwave forces South Sudan to close schools for 2 weeks. New York Times comments as, with no buy-in from Egypt or Jordan, Trump appears to back away from his Gaza plan. Recently Trump says he has not seen Egyptian counter to his plan for Gaza. Tim Cook reportedly tells Trump Apple will invest hundreds of billions in US, they don't want to be in the tariffs. Japan warns over threat from China's chip material export controls. Reportedly, Trump tariffs target $29.3 billion in EU steel and aluminium.
Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawlers February 20th, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs February 7th to February 13th, 2025.
APT, Rosé et Bruno Mars.
Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. AAJ Kiraat, Matrubanti Bagchi, Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, February 7th to Thursday, February 13th, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Luther with SZA. Kendrick Lamar, SZA.
APT, Rosé, Bruno Mars.
Nintendo US Digital Bestsellers, from February 18th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Minecraft. Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 to Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals, CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA and FBI warn of malicious cyber actors using buffer overflow vulnerabilities to compromise software. One more drop in the AI ocean. StepFun AI's Step Video, T2V, videos are represented by a high-compression video V, achieving 16 by 16 spatial and 8x temporal compression ratios. User prompts are encoded using two bilingual pre-trained text encoders to handle both English and Chinese. A DIT with 3D full attention is trained using flow matching and is employed to denoise input noise into latent frames, with text embeddings and time step serving as conditioning factors. To further enhance the visual quality of the generated videos, a video-based DPO approach is applied, which effectively reduces artifacts and ensures smoother, more realistic video outputs. 30 minutes of aerobic exercise enhances cognition in individuals with ADHD, study finds. mRNA vaccines show promise in pancreatic cancer in early trial. New research links Nova-1 protein to human language origins. Higher proportion of migrants does not mean more crime, German Institute says. Costa Rica will take Central Asian and Indian migrants deported by U.S. U.S. Border Patrol arrested 29,000 migrants illegally crossing Mexico border in January, lowest since May 2020. Pro-Russian hackers attack Italian websites after president compares invasion of Ukraine to Nazis. It has been speculated as Donald Trump gave Vladimir Putin go-ahead to attack London, Paris, or Brussels, warns expert. China supports all Ukraine peace efforts. Gaza is not a bargaining chip, says Wang. Nike teams up with Kim Kardashian shapewear brand schemes as it looks to reach more women. Coca-Cola enters trendy prebiotic soda market with Simply Pop. HP to acquire parts of Humane, AI pin startup from ex-Apple managers for $116 million, and all of Humane's AI pins will stop working in 10 days, as Humane's $700 AI pin discontinued and defunct after less than 1 year. Trump signs order to claim power over independent agencies. Cambodian lawmakers pass law against Khmer Rouge genocide denial. Colombian president alleges plot to down his plane with missiles. South Africa open to any country for nuclear project bids, including Russia and Iran, announced by minister. Brazil to join OPEC Plus forum. Government decides. EU slaps fresh sanctions on Russia, targeting aluminum and shadow fleet ships. Director Brady Corbett says he made zero money from Oscar-nominated movie, The Brutalist. Chinese film Neza 2 becomes highest-grossing animated film globally. Daniel Craig drops out of DC Studios' war movie, SGT, Rock. Korea willing to take in Korean POWs, government tells Ukraine. Trump calls Zelensky a dictator, as tensions rise between the leaders over the Russia-Ukraine war, and Trump says Russia has the cards in Ukraine talks. Putin says Ukraine won't be shut out but U.S.-Russia trust key to peace deal. Trump says Elon Musk's $10 million settlement over Twitter suit was a big discount. In Argentina, Milei crypto scandal widens with allegations against his sister, as Karina Milei is latest member of administration implicated in Cryptogate. Argentina's Milei faces fraud probe after boosting a crypto coin that crashed hours after its launch. Libra co-creator bragged about paying Javier Milei's sister for token post, announced in a report. Brazil's former President Bolsonaro charged over alleged coup that included a plan to poison Lula, and Trump Media Group sues Brazilian judge weighing arrest of Jair Bolsonaro. China's clean energy investments nearing scale of global fossil investments, researchers find. Carbon capture more costly than switching to renewables, researchers find. SS United States departs Philadelphia on voyage to become the world's largest artificial reef. Trump says he would have had a very nasty life if he'd lost the election. Journalists launch legal action against Italian government over spyware claims. Dark Indonesia, protests erupt nationwide with students taking to streets as Indonesian students take to the streets against Prabowo's policies. Russian wealth fund chief says U.S. businesses lost $300 billion after leaving Russia, and Russia's wealth fund chief says Trump is a problem solver ahead of Riyadh talks, as Russian wealth fund sees U.S. companies returning in 2025. With "you could have made a deal," Trump blames Ukraine after U.S.-Russia talks, and Zelensky urges more truth after Trump suggests Ukraine started the war. Russia says NATO states can't enforce Ukraine peace, wants membership pledge scrapped, as Russia's Lavrov denies three-point peace plan, warns against Western peacekeepers in Ukraine. White House posts video of immigrants in shackles, calls deportation footage ASMR. French lawmakers mull banning headscarves in sport. Amnesty International says it's discriminatory. BBC apologizes and adds clarification to Gaza documentary featuring son of Hamas minister following backlash. Binance US resumes fiat deposits and withdrawals after 2 years since SEC lawsuit. Chain Analysis reports that Iranians flock to crypto amidst geopolitical tension. International sanctions actions disrupt Russia's war machine. Ethereum transaction fees plummet 70%, hitting lowest levels since 2020. Doge claims it found $4.7 trillion in treasury payments that are untraceable. 6 days ago, Musk claims there are 150-year-olds receiving Social Security benefits, and Doge claims to make $8 billion saving on a contract worth just $8 million. Federal judge refuses to immediately block Elon Musk and Doge from federal data or worker layoffs, as Judge Chuck and rejects call from Democratic AGs for temporary restraining order blocking Doge's access to federal data. Elon Musk staffer created a Doge AI assistant for making government less dumb. Tiny quakes discovered deep within Greenland's ice sheet could change sea level rise predictions, study suggests. Chinese scientists develop nickelate high-temperature superconductors at ambient pressure. Teleportation achieved between quantum computers in a world first. Meta's WhatsApp faces tougher EU rules as monthly users top 45 million. Pokémon Go developer Niantic nearing $3.5 billion deal to sell games unit. New York Post reports that new app offers personal bodyguards and private motorcades on demand in NYC. Nokia's cellular network ready for Moon as intuitive machines completes final lunar lander installation. Chinese scientists develop injection to make smartphone and EV batteries last longer. Microsoft's Majorana One chip carves new path for quantum computing capable of solving meaningful, industrial-scale problems in years, not decades, which can observe and control Majorana particles, not electrons. Valve releases Team Fortress 2 SDK, enabling creators to build completely new games based on TF2. Jumbo Kakshur, MTG's Final Fantasy crossover drops insane 10,000 damage card and it's standard legal. Elon Musk wants to make games great again by launching AI gaming development studio. Payments processor Shift4 to buy Global Blue in $2.5 billion deal. TikTok receives $50 billion offer from U.S. entrepreneur Reed Rassner to buy app. Gabby Petito's parents speak out about controversial use of AI to recreate her voice in documentary, as it has been commented that Gabby Petito's AI voice recreation in Netflix's documentary feels wrong and unnerves me. Australia's central bank cuts rates for the first time in more than 4 years, flags economic uncertainties. NZ central bank cuts rates 50 bps, flags steeper easing cycle to revive frail economy. African Development Bank projects 4.1% growth for the continent. U.S. declares Tren de Aragua. Other cartels are global terrorist organizations. U.S. drone flights over Mexican territory are part of a collaboration, Mexican president says. It has been reported 1 day ago that CIA expands secret drone flights over Mexico. In the U.S., early data show homicides dropped 16% in 2024. UK Paralympian becomes first disabled astronaut to be cleared for ISS mission. Static electricity depends on materials contact history, physicists show. Polish space agency checking whether unidentified object is SpaceX rocket debris. Egypt announces first discovery of a royal tomb since King Tutankhamun's was found over a century ago, as long-lost royal tomb of King Thutmose II finally discovered in Luxor. Lost Camille Claudel masterpiece sells for $3.8 million at auction. Michael Jackson estate fights auction house over sale of rare, unreleased music, as Michael Jackson's estate says sale of unreleased songs is sad attempt to mislead the public, where dispute between auction house and heirs leaves future of 12 previously unreleased Michael Jackson tracks unclear. In Germany, Continental announces reduction of 3,000 jobs amid industry challenges. Tesla expands into India with showrooms in Delhi and Mumbai. Hiring begins. U.S. displaced China as Germany's biggest single trading partner in 2024. Reportedly in the U.S., housing affordability is so squeezed that office-to-apartment conversions just spiked 484%. In the U.S., President Donald J. Trump expands access to in vitro fertilization, IVF. U.S. reverses plan to shut down free COVID test program. Musk teases Doge dividend checks that could reach $5,000 per household. Bannon calls Musk a parasitic illegal immigrant. Sign that says "We hate him too" appears in window of Tesla dealership. Reportedly, a quarter of U.S. shoppers have dumped favorite stores over political stances, as shoppers are avoiding certain brands over politics, as per a poll. Gallup announces that Trump's job approval rating at 45%, Congress's jumps to 29%. Meta sues alleged violent extortionist for holding Instagram account hostage. Reportedly, Russia-aligned hackers are targeting Signal users with device-linking QR codes. Chinese components in smart devices pose sabotage threat to UK MP warns. In the US, State Department orders cancellation of news subscriptions around the world. In the US, Commerce Secretary Lutnick, Trump's goal is to abolish the IRS. Trump floats giving 20% of Doge savings to American citizens. Russia and US eye joint Arctic energy projects after Saudi talks. Denmark plans $17 billion defense spending hike to deter Russia. Wall Street Journal reports as Germany's AfD is no friend of America. It has been reported as Germany's AfD's far-right leader Alice Weidel held secret meetings with Chinese envoy. China state media reports as support for AfD grows as poll nears. In the U.S., Social Security head steps down over Doge access of recipient information, sources say. Food head at FDA quits citing Trump administration's mass staff cuts. Reportedly, Doge reportedly fired the FDA employees who were reviewing clinical trials for Elon Musk's Neuralink. It has been commented as Trump administration fires thousands for performance without evidence in messy rush, as the Trump administration just used a move to fire thousands of federal workers that has become all too familiar in corporate America. Google agrees to pay Italy $340 million to settle a tax evasion investigation. ByteDance U.S. backers say China growth to counter any TikTok ban damage. Wall Street Journal reports that AI data center with up to 3 gigawatts of power is envisioned for South Korea. OpenAI is introducing the SWE Lancer benchmark, a benchmark of over 1,400 freelance software engineering tasks from Upwork, valued at $1 million total in real-world payouts. AI Brain Decoder can read a person's thoughts with just a quick brain scan and almost no training. China's DeepSeek-led AI revolution could boost financial sector profit by up to 13%, UBS. In the U.S., at least 10 deaths blamed on powerful winter storm pushing strong winds and heavy snow further east. Melting glaciers caused almost 2 centimeters of sea level rise this century, study reveals. Swedish Supreme Court says Greta Thunberg and other activists cannot sue state over climate action. Axios reports that conservative radio hosts invited to broadcast from Pentagon. 55% of digital magazine circulation comes from Spotify-style services. Ampere announces that streamers will spend $12.5 billion on sports rights in 2025, led by DAZN. Common mushroom fiber may protect against flu, study finds. Study, College graduates live a shocking 11 years longer than those who never finish high school. Life expectancy growth stalls across Europe as England sees sharpest decline, say researchers. Arc Institute's AI model Evo 2 designs the genetic code across all domains of life. Microsoft reveals new gaming-focused generative AI model Muse that could revive classic games. Researchers find Elon Musk's new Grok AI is extremely vulnerable to hacking. The Last of Us Season 2 gets official premiere date. SiriusXM expands its podcast subscription to YouTube and Spotify. Ex-Bungie director's creepy texts to female employees released by Sony in ongoing lawsuit. It has been commented as Sony pushes back hard against Bungie veterans' wrongful termination lawsuit. AMD could block the sale of Intel due to a cross-licensing agreement. The Cybertruck is the latest Tesla to score a 5-star crash rating. 3-year study finds Mackenzie Scott's $19 billion in charitable giving has been transformational for nonprofits. Synthetic diamond with hexagonal lattice outshines the natural kind with unprecedented hardness. Dogs blink more in response to other dogs doing the same, hinting at social connection. 2/3 of the Earth's surface experienced record heat in 2024. China is likely to cut its benchmark policy rate next month, economists say, after PBOC keeps LPR steady. Hegseth directs Pentagon to find $50 billion in cuts this year to fund Trump military priorities. Australia, Papua New Guinea vow to strike defense treaty. Macron's mini-summit exposes EU disagreements over Trump's Ukraine shakeup, and France is not preparing to send ground troops to the front in Ukraine. Palantir CEO calls for tech patriotism, warns of AI warfare. Kazakhstan, Jordan team up for uranium studies. Lloyd's is auditing thousands of IT staffers' technical skills. 27% of job listings for CFOs now mention AI. Meta announces LlamaCon, its first generative AI dev conference. Crypto, politics, tech, and more. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawlers February 16, 2025 edition. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 31st to February 6, 2025.
APT, Rosé et Bruno Mars.
Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
Aaj Ki Raat, Madhubanti Bagachi, Divya.
Tunak Tunak Sun, Buji Ki Bane. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, January 31st to Thursday, February 6, 2025. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. DTMF, Bad Bunny.
APT, Rosé, Bruno Mars.
Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Nintendo US digital bestsellers from February 12, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Poppy Playtime, Chapter 1. Minecraft. Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 to Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA partners with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and other international and US organizations to release guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. Zifra's Zonos V0.1 Hybrid. Zonos V0.1 is a leading open-weight text-to-speech model trained on more than 200K hours of varied multilingual speech, delivering expressiveness and quality on par with, or even surpassing, top TDS providers. Our model enables highly natural speech generation from text prompts when given a speaker embedding or audio prefix, and can accurately perform speech cloning when given a reference clip spanning just a few seconds. The conditioning setup also allows for fine control over speaking rate, pitch variation, audio quality, and emotions such as happiness, fear, sadness, and anger. The model outputs speech natively at 44 kHz. Mexico's president takes aim at U.S. gunmakers if cartels are designated as terrorist groups. 3 weeks ago, U.S. appeals court revives Mexico's $10 billion lawsuit against gunmakers. Vance tells Europeans to stop shunning parties deemed extreme, and VP Vance calls out Europe's mass migration policies in Munich the day after terror attack. In the U.S., CA Tesla owners receiving threats to sell their cars, or they'll be vandalized, as per report. Reportedly, hedge fund startup that replaced analysts with AI beats the market. OpenAI is thinking about a grown-up mode and wants ChatGPT to be less sycophantic. Meta enters the AI humanoid race with the launch of a new robotics division to compete with Tesla and Figure AI. Princeton neuroscientists crack the code of how we make decisions. Birds have developed complex brains independently from mammals. Romantic relationships matter more to men than to women. China to develop gene edit tools, new crop varieties in biotech drive. Eating from plastic takeout containers can increase heart failure risk study. AI used to design a multi-step enzyme that can digest some plastics. 260 foreigners rescued from virtual slavery in Myanmar's online scam centers are being repatriated. Russian hackers target Microsoft 365 accounts with device code phishing. Miley Eye backs away from Libra memecoin after 90% crash. Not aware of the details, and Argentina's opposition threatens impeachment trial after Miley Eye touts crypto coin. Brazil to host next BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro in July. Xi to chair symposium attended by Jack Ma and other Chinese business leaders, sources say. Trump says auto tariffs coming April 2nd, and Trump promises to treat VAT systems like Europe's like a tariff. China will play along to the end with U.S., its top diplomat says. China calls for all stakeholders in Ukraine war to be in peace process. Zelensky calls for creation of European army, as he warns Russia is not preparing for dialogue. Trump team to start Russia-Ukraine peace talks in Saudi Arabia. Ukraine rejects initial Trump request for half its mineral wealth. Macron calls emergency European summit on Trump, Polish minister says, and Starmer to join Macron-led European crisis summit on Trump's Ukraine plan. As Europe will not be part of Ukraine peace talks, U.S. envoy says. Following an attack on opposition, Zelensky effectively begins election season. 2 weeks ago, Reuters reported that U.S. wants Ukraine to hold elections following a ceasefire, says Trump envoy. Parental divorce in childhood tied to 61% higher stroke risk in older adults. In Argentina, Bullrich announced that they will revoke permits to grow marijuana. 5 years ago, Argentina to allow medicinal marijuana to be grown at home. An unexpected anomaly was found in the Pacific Ocean, could be a global time marker. Chiwetel Ejiofor didn't really meet Renee Zellweger until Bridget Jones rapped, as Renee Zellweger, Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson to return for Bridget Jones. Mad about the boy. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Leo Woodall also said. Trump administration will try to revoke $20 billion in funding for climate projects. Celebrity hotspot Chiltern Firehouse closed indefinitely after huge blaze rips through London hotel. Trump officials fired nuclear staff, not realizing they oversee the country's weapons stockpile, sources say. 1 day ago, sweeping U.S. Energy Department layoffs hit offices of loans, nuclear security, sources say. Trump frames 2023 mugshot, hangs it outside the Oval Office. And with he who saves his country does not violate any law, Trump denies his actions are unconstitutional. Trump rolls back CFPB, USAID, and Department of Education, as judge orders Trump administration to temporarily reinstate foreign aid funding. The Goonies 2 is officially in the works with Steven Spielberg, Chris Columbus among producers. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power has been officially renewed for a 3rd season. Lost silent film about Abraham Lincoln recovered at Greenport Film Archive. XRP and Dogecoin ETFs clear initial hurdle as SEC acknowledges Grayscale's filings. GameStop shares surge as company considers crypto investments, as reported by CNBC. Bloomberg reports that U.S. Bitcoin miners disrupted by Chinese supplier under scrutiny. Intel debuts bold modular laptop design focused on the right to repair. The iconic 3D Benchy enters the public domain. Instagram tests a dislike button for comments. Tata Group unit broadcasts 80% of global sporting events. Tom Sachs announces September release for Nike Mars Yard 3.0. Astrobot, Indiana Jones, and Helldivers 2 lead 2025 DICE Awards nominations. Buy now, pay later installment payments increase retail spending, study finds. Zelle payments top $1 trillion in 2024 as network's growth outpaces rivals including PayPal. Optimism motivates people to save for future despite present challenges, study suggests. Calling time alone me time boosts positive feelings and improves perceptions, unlike labeling it isolation. Wired comments as, the loneliness epidemic is a security crisis. 16 months ago, who declares loneliness a health threat. In the UK, brain implant that could boost mood by using ultrasound to go under NHS trial. Amazon accused by Italy of evading €1.2 billion in VAT payments. Wall Street Journal reports that Broadcom, TSMC weigh possible Intel deals that would split storied chipmaker. New York Times comments as, with Trump's help, Intel could hand control of chip plants to TSMC. As TSMC considers running Intel's U.S. factories after Trump team request. Igloo recalls more than 1,090 quart rolling coolers due to fingertip amputation and crushing hazards. The Guardian signs licensing deal with ChatGPT owner OpenAI. True crime, YouTube channel removed over AI-generated stories. A job ad for Y Combinator startup Firecrawl seeks to hire an AI agent for $15,000 a year. EU scales back tech rules to boost AI investment, says digital chief. Axios reports that trust in AI is much higher in China than in the US. IEA announces that growth in global electricity demand is set to accelerate in the coming years as power-hungry sectors expand.
ESPN reported leading NFL.
DR Congo asks NBA F1 soccer teams to end Rwanda deals. Tether says it bought a stake in Juventus Football Club. White South Africans protest against racist laws and thank Trump for his support. In the U.S., Naval Academy faculty told to avoid divisive concepts like systemic racism. Climate group that called for free Palestine